Good evening to all of you. I am going to discuss from RC Kolkata, BSW 122. Today, our topic is community organization concepts and principles. Fine. At first, we are trying to deliver it and discuss about the concept of community organizations. So, the aim of this unit is to provide the guidelines to understand the community organizations. What the community organizations is to form a better society. It is very much essential to collaborate with community organizations. The two terms basically, one is community and the second is organizations. Community organizations is a part, the method of social work practice. In this unit, I will try to give a pictures on the organizations means, the definitions of community organizations also, the principles of community organizations. Actually, the concept of community organizations we can easily elaborate and easily explain on the basis of subcomponents. At first, we start it from the introductions part. So, in social work profession, there are three basic methods of working styles with the people, that is at first individual, second group, and the third one is communities. We have already studied the two methods. We are aware sorry that social casework is basically depends on face-to-face mode, one-to-one process, one-to-one process of communications and effective style also. The aim of community organizations is depend on the developing capacity. It varies from time to time. So community organizations is basically depends uh, with well established and method of social work. It has also varies and the value of orientations and the practices also. So we can easily discuss the meaning and the definitions of community organizations. At first, we can easily explain the term meaning of community organizations. Okay, before going to start the term, we should re-evaluate the term community organizations as a method of social work. Let us first understand what the meaning of them, that we can easily use it. The term community organizations has several meanings. Due to several aspects, its meanings are varies from field to field. In general, community organizations meaning the helping process to community and the other people or other stages of or the professions of the field also. The term is used to denote the methods of the social work. In the field of sociology, we learn this part and we discuss this part elaborately, that social institutions are more than just collections of individuals. It includes how these individuals are linked with each other. It means that just a collections or a patterns of this process, to call them organized, and they need to have the place to set a common ideas and expectations also, that gives them a social structure as well as a social phenomenon or some social process that make the organizations something special or the social, and it goes beyond the individuals that compose to the community. Further, it is important to note that for forming various groups of community, the interest groups set the activities. It is not the multiplicity of institutions, interested groups, or set of activities which make an organized community important, uh, determining factors of the community also, and activities involving the groups or the institutions if necessary. So there is a common phenomena between the meaning and the definitions regarding the regarding the organizations or the community organizations. So there is a liaison between the community organizations and the organizations, the meaning and the differences, meaning and the definitions also. So we have already discussed that the meaning of the community organization, trying to discuss, but now we are going to discuss the term community organization. What is the actual definitions, we can easily explain through our coming discussions. So Mr. Murray G. Ross in 1967 defines that community organizations as a term, the process, rather to say the process by which a community identifies the actual term of it by helping the poor people also, and it finds the resources that is to the internal or external parts of this phenomenon. In this definition, the process, the meant by the movement from identifications of a problem and the objectives of the problems of attainment of the objectives also. There is a basic functional approaches regarding the definitions of the community organizations. You can express separately on the term community organizations. The definitions, on the other hand, is community in the sense which is used and to refers the major group works of the people. Firstly, it may the people express their feelings on a specific geographical areas, either village, town, city, neighborhood, a district, subdivisions, anywhere. In the same manner, it could refer, and secondly, it is very much include groups of people also. According to their explanations, it involves the two major interrelated concerns of this part. The analysis of both these definitions, arrivals, the part and the chart also, that is very much important regarding these issues. So you can easily state the definitions reveals that the cover need of resources adjustment approaches of the basic of the social relationships of the variable approaches and contributions of the two ideas of meeting. The distinguished features of community organizations practice are derived largely from the part of the dimensions also. Various dimensions from the nature's goals, the nature of its settings and focus, the community organizations approaches, all these activities are togetherly focused on the same issue, that community organization is a set of approaches that forces to do for the betterment of the society. It differs from individuals to individuals, but the motion and the centralized idea of this part become the same. So we have just discussed the meaning and the definitions of community organizations. In the term of, in the field of sociology, it diagnoses differently. In the term of sociology, there are also a term institutions, community organizations. That is, that bears another meanings. In the term of social work, that is also the meaning is different. It varies from something else. What is the relevancy of community organization regarding the part of social works field? Discuss the relevancy of social work in the part of social work also. So community work has a long history of as on aspects of social work. It has passed through various phases. All over the world, it has been the recognized as an integrated part of its practice also. History shows that community organizations work with various stages of the society, and it started from 1800 with the charity organizations also. So the mode of doing community organization is different. Stages are different, but the motion is same. In India, the experience of working with slum community in the city of Mumbai lead to the establishment of the first institutions of social work education also. That is 1936. There are several ways that we discuss. So, what is the importance for us here to understand that community work is one of the basic work process? It is being used to attain the same basic objectives also as casework and group work. So, as you may be aware of, the social work methods are concerned with removed of the blocks also, the growth of the individuals, group or community help, aggressiveness, eagerness to doing something, potentialities, helping to the poor and the wretched people. In community organizations, social work is concerned with the institutions and that processes of it are to be verified and are to be forced the integrated part of is. Thus, community organizations started more a product of maturation process than as the beginning of a profession. The increasingly complete and the complex of interdependent nature of modern society makes community organizations almost a prerequisite for smooth functionings of any society. Now the questions regarding this part, that what is the actual situations of community work in the social work field. The basic features and the basic functions of community organizations regarding social work field is to make the bridges. It forms a bridge system between the launched by the government. Its responsible social work has the duty to carry the policies from top to grassroots level so that the common people should get the opportunities to avail the policies, the benefit of the policies by the help of the responsible social worker. And the work either it is to be paid options or an unpaid systems. So, what is the value of orientations of community organizations? What is the value of orientations regarding community organizations? What is the basic importance of uh, orientations regarding the community organizations? From the discussions till now, we have clearly understand the community organizations meanings, the definitions. The lecture based on the community organizations first part, and it concludes clearly what the community organizations is. Community organizations is respectively is all the integral part of the social work practice. Social work practice. In the practice of community organizations, some questions do arise to how it should be done. Next, is there any differences between community work and community organizations? So community organization derives from the unique frame of references, their nature of which is based on the particular value orientations. In social work, the focus of community organizations are gradually changing their motions also. These values affect workers' style of interventions and between groups and between the individuals within the same group. So, moreover, there has been no explicit comprehensions of general ideas and general views also. Differentiations and different approaches are always in there, but the fact is that the value of orientations of community organizations as of to all social methods and the policies also. In our society, there are so many types of people carrying different characteristics also. Among these are the essential dignity and the essential liability or loyalty to the poor and the wretched people also. The importance of the freedom of expression, that is very much important. The need for social changes and the social climate which encourages the individual in the affairs of the one own community also. So the process may be different, but the motto of giving the services to the poor people, quote, this motto will not be changed in tomorrow's world. So principles of the community organizations. Our next discussions is principles of the community organizations. So principles of community organizations varies from time to time, sequence to sequence, the field of applications and field of implementation is variable. The principles of community organizations which are being discussed of social work in democratic societies also. Democratic society, rather to say democracy always fearless, helps other to state their or to present their views regarding any topic also. In the literature of community organizations, we find various sets of principles. Dunham says this in 1958. What are the principles or the observations regarding our academic progress or institutional academics? So, number one, his recommendations is democracy and social welfare. Number one, democracy and social welfare. Secondly, community roots for the community organizations. Community roots for the community organization. Third, cooperation. Third, cooperation. Fourth, prevention. Prevention. Next, social welfare program. Social welfare program. Next, community roots for the community programs. Community roots for the community programs. Ross, Mr. Ross, 1967, outlined the specific properties or the principles. The specific principles regarding this issue is elementary or fundamental ideas regarding initiations and continuations of community organizations process. These principles have been discussed in terms of the nature of the organizations or associations and the role of the professional worker also. So that various principles identified by Mr. Ross are: number one, discontent with establishing and existing conditions in the community must initiate his nourish development of the associations. Secondly, discontent must be focused on the channeled into organizations and planning also. Third, discontent with initiates or sustain community organizations must be widely shared in the part of it. The association must involve the leaders regarding the burning issues. Next point, the principles, the programs of the association should include some activities with an emotional content. The association should seek to utilize the program and the support to help the poor ones. The association should develop a pace of work in line with existing conditions in the community. Next, the association should seek to develop the effective leaders also. The association must develop the strength, ability, perception, presentations, the practice situations not only in India but abroad had worked out a set of principles. What are the principles? Here is a questions regarding this part. What are the principles? Number one, the principle of specific objectives. Second, the principles of planning also. Third, the principle of people's participations. Next, principles of intergroup approaches. Next, the principles of flexible organizations. Then, next point is optimum utilizations and indigenous resources. Last point is the principle of cultural orientations. All these principles trying to interact some of the principles from the available of the principle for practicing of community organizations in Indian territory. So community organizations is a means and not an end. We can easily examine the discussed earlier, the community organizations is a process by which the capacity of the community functions is a integrated unit. It refers to a method of interventions whereby a community consists of individuals also. Groups and organizations is helped to engage in planned correlations or the collective actions in order to deal with their needs and problems also. Secondly, the clear identifications of the community. Since the community is the best client of the community organization's worker, it must be clear defined and likely to be approached to others that the entire community must be the concern of the program and the next is identification, mobilizing, doing the help in the absence of resolving services. The worker has to move. So before they will meet a part of it, we should easily be connected and doing the opportunities of our systematic efforts and systematic part of this phenomena also. Our field of society, there are very much concept of self, the process of community development is also the active and the vital participation. Voluntary cooperations. What do you mean by the voluntary actions? The actions, the activity which come from paid or unpaid sessions also to do the benefit for the common people. So, the emphasis on cooperative attitude practices our indigenous leaderships. Yes, community organizations, as it has been described, the main part of this. So we are being very much next different types according to the according to the situation, according to the positions. It is very much essential and growing to importance that as programs or development to meet the community needs, their basic demands, that is very much important for the community organizations respect and response. Criteria must be set up for examples or evaluations of the program. So C and will be deliberately. So at the nearest of our ending, we can easily discuss a moral part. The aims or the objectives in this unit was to provide the guidelines to understand the basic concepts of community organizations and the methods of community organizations regarding so many allegations also. In detail, the meaning of organization and also provide the definitions of the explanaries. Now you will be able to explain the meanings and the definition of community organization. What are the components of community organizations? There are so many components exist in the community organizations. We should update our principles and guidings the community organizations practice. You are now in a position to recognize the importance organizations in the field also. So what are the capacities? Some important part or important words regarding this issue we are trying to discuss. At first, of an individual, community or an organizations. That is a part of community or organizations. What is community integrity or integrations? What do we mean by community integrations? A process in which the exercise, the cooperative and the collaboration attitudes of the practices led to gather the identifications also and the patriotisms in the affairs of the community also and sharing the common values and means of the expressing these values. So cooperations regarding this discussions topic, that is one of the most effective points by which we can easily build our problems at a glance. What is cooperations? The answer is to help one another in allied tasks or to work on the same motion. That is cooperation. The way of this process is called cooperation. Formulating purpose. what is called formulating plans, planning the various steps and methods are necessary to achieve the goal. So take a decisions before doing something is very much essential regarding this. It is also to be denoted and the device from all the aspects also. Now our discussions is what is social institutions. Institutions is not just a building also. Institutions we can easily tag it: social institutions, mechanical institution, academic institutions. Institution does not mean कि it is a well decorated house for a certain purpose that is focused already at the announced, that is a part of announcement. So it is gradually very much effective part of is. It is by the society or organized and maintained through prescribed rules and the regulations also. It means a recognized pattern of social interactions. And institutions comes with set of the attitudes, behavior patterns, expectations, and the meanings. Next is social interaction. What is social interaction? Cooperations, communication to the others is a unique pattern of it. So social interactions is the behavior and the beliefs between each other. Among these are the essential dignity and ethical worth of it. The importance of freedom of the express ones of the individuals of those basic physical necessary also, which fulfillment of the life and the pattern of life. There is a basic features regarding implementing the community organizations, that is the fulfillment of life patterns also, without which fulfillment of life is often blocked. The need for the individuals to struggle and strive to improve his own life also. That is very much essential, both in the rural and the urban areas. Everybody should follow the way of communications and the individuals of participations also. Practically on the discussions and to focus the health to betterment of the community organizations. So, what is community? Community works as a method of social work. Basically, in India and UK, is largely seen as a process of developing social initiatives, particularly in the areas of education also. So the value orientations of community organizations as of all social work methods. In social work, the focus of community organizations practices influenced by a system of personal and the professional values also. Values affect the style of communications and the community organizations and its observations too. Part is and the entire is very much, especially in England or USA. However, a little has been written about the community organizations part. The term community organizations cover a sense of morality formations. In short, it is the problem and possibilities to change and the provides correlate advice for present day actions and sustain our actions also. So that is very much important and very much essential effects or the functional approaches to the community organizations delivered to the common people in the term of social relevancy due to some enforceable situations. Philosophy of community organizations is also to be notified regarding the same issues. So that's why it is very much essential to communicate with the people of doing the same situations regarding the part of communal harmony, tolerance, and to structural or functional approaches regarding this. Okay, we have just tried first unit on BSW 123, that is community organizations. We are trying to thank you. That's all for today. We will be meet soon for the next class on a next sessions also.